or watching Fight Feed. I just got done wrapping up my viewing of the UFC fight night in Des Moines, Iowa. It was fucking insane. Okay, fucking insane for a few reasons, guys. Just a few quick hits off the rip in this video. The first fight on the card, Juliana Miller versus something Petrovic. I can't remember her first name. Juliana Miller, huge underdog. No one, I think, online picked her other than myself. And I'm going to give you a shout out here. I'm actually responding to a fellow subscriber. But I want to give a couple shout outs because, guys, this is a brand new channel for the most part. I've been making videos for a long time. A lot of the previous work that's on my YouTube is my film, videography, cinematography work that I did. Shot a lot of music videos. If any of you who have recently subscribed are interested in watching that, you can find it somewhere on my channel. But now I've switched gears because I'm a huge fan of the UFC and MMA, and I feel that this is a great way for me to provide my input and my voice to this community. So anyways, this has been a hard road so far. Okay, but this is the most that I've ever been excited to do it. I'm finally actually earning on YouTube. Not a lot, guys. Literally, I haven't even got my first payout on YouTube. Okay, the first payout you need $100. I'm at $22. But what I've been doing every day is continuing to grind, continuing to post content, putting my input into this space, and watching that number climb ever so slightly. It's when you guys watch and comment, give me interactions, that helps quite a bit. So I truly appreciate it. And the reason I want to call this out is that I've got a couple subscribers here who have, consistently engaged, provided feedback, just even providing your own position on shit, guys. Just going in here and saying exactly what you think. If I say one thing, tell me who you're picking. Tell me what's happening on your mind in terms of if I make one of these videos talking about John Jones in the title, just tell me how you feel about it. I've had a couple people do that, so I'm going to give them a shout out here. And this is going into the Juliana Miller, guys. So one of my subscribers, Kevin Tran, shout out to Kevin. Thank you for all your engagement, man. I really appreciate it. So Kevin said to my video, picking Juliana Miller is crazy. And he's not wrong. Juliana Miller is one of the most awkward fighters that's out there. And so watching her tonight, she's got a herky-jerky, Dricus Duplessis style, but it's you never know if she's going for the leg. But the problem I have with her in stand-up, she's very awkward in stand-up, so she has success sometimes. But the biggest thing I see with her, she just sits in the pocket and stands, she stands still. So she'll throw her awkward strike and wait to get hit by a punch. And that happened a couple times tonight. But she was so scrappy and somehow was able to get the W in this fight. Huge underdog. So I picked her. That was a very big thing for me, starting it off, because I was there's no way she's going to win. I just had this weird feeling she might win. But if you look at just her previous fights, I didn't have a lot of confidence. And I even responded that. But I want to shout out Kevin because I have to brag a little bit. I'm happy that happened. But I really appreciate you commenting. I look forward to just engaging more with you. Make sure you continue to provide your input. I appreciate it, man. And then I'll give another shout out here. Another subscriber, Braden K. And I guys, I actually don't even know if y'all are subscribed. I think you are because I've seen some different engagement from you. But if not, make sure you subscribe. I didn't check that before this, but you guys have commented on a couple things. So that has me thinking that you're returning. You're probably subscribed. Anyways, jumping into his comment about my pick on Jeremy Stephens. He said, Stephens hasn't won a fight in 7 years. He's not wrong. An MMA fight. I don't even know how I remember this, but I feel like he scratched by with one win in PFL. And it looks like Braden confirmed that too. But still, it's a great point. He's 1-7 in his last, 8 fights, which is just that's Braden's point. And I was kind of being he won at least one, but that doesn't make it any better in his situation from an MMA perspective. My pick on Jeremy was that he is on a streak in these other organizations. He's beating high-level guys. It's not MMA. So I totally get where you're coming from. But that recent streak and how Jeremy's kind of been talking in interviews and stuff, I just feel like he's got a different fire. It was shown in this fight because he was, I think, Mason just had a great style and was able to mix things up. But I think Jeremy's at that age where you start seeing the reaction time and speed disadvantages kind of happen. But I think that Jeremy had great hand speed on his own offense, but his speed and his reaction time was off, and like he's not seeing everything. So Mason just was crispy, staying on the outside, landing heavy, landing great combinations with different things, throwing elbows at different angles. Like he was getting some real short up elbows. Like he was going crazy in there. But Jeremy tagged him a few times, and the two of them were just going back and forth. And Braden called this shit. He said it's going to be a barn burner for sure. He thought someone was going to sleep in under 2.5. I thought so too. I thought Jeremy would catch him. Like my biggest thing with Jeremy is just he's got that KO power. It's an equalizer, and I think if you light a fire under him too, like guys, go watch some of Jeremy Stevens' highlights when he knocked out Josh Emmett. The fucking look here in his eyes, it was fucking scary. So that's why I picked Steven. But I want to give a shout out to these guys for commenting and providing their input. I'm going to give one more shout out. And I can get, guys, you know what's great about this? I can give shout outs here. And each shout out will probably be one comment on my videos. I'm not getting a lot of engagement yet. So I'm basically, every shout out here, I'm probably calling out every person other than my girlfriend on my channel. My girlfriend, you guys will see, she's commenting on all my stuff. I love you. Thank you for that. But it's nice to get comments from you guys. I know you're watching these. Like my girlfriend, she loves UFC, but she's not like, she's not watching like we are. She'll watch like big cards with me and stuff, but like, she's not in the weeds on this shit the way I am or the way you guys are. And I want to call out one more here, guys. Damn, you know what? There's a couple people in here. I wanted to give a shout out to Kings in One. He commented on my recent video for my predictions on the Bilal versus Jack Della Maddalena card. If you haven't seen that yet, go watch it, guys. That's my full, I've already got my picks out. I like to get it out the Friday before the fight card, like the week before. Friday, this one was Thursday night, but getting that out so you guys can, get in there, consume this. There's a lot of MMA creators in this space, right? I think that a way for me as a smaller channel to just kind of start building up is maybe have a different scheduled time, right? A lot of the guys are different in how they're approaching that when they're posting the videos for predictions. Lucas Tracy's very early too. He might have kind of subconsciously inspired me to start going even earlier because he would get his shit out by like Saturday or Sunday. The week before. And then some of the guys, they get it out midweek. I've actually found success, guys, doing this a bit earlier. Ever since I started this 2 weeks ago, I think it was with the Ian Gary card. I did it a week and a day early. I actually have seen quite an uptick in new subscribers. So, and just more engagement overall, more views, things of that nature. So anyways, I'm giving a shout out to Kings in One. He responded with a very passionate response to my pick in the main event of this fight. I'm picking Jack Della Maddalena. I believe that he will get the win. It's definitely more so, I think, driven by, I do have a bit of a bias for Jack. I like his style, and I like his style more than Bilal's. But I also think that Jack has shown certain things in the octagon that make me feel he has a way to capture a win in this fight. But I fucking love Kings in One drop some, great knowledge here, great points. And I actually agreed with quite a bit of it. I kind of felt like at first he was saying like that I think Bilal's so bad, which I don't say that in my video. I never said he was bad. I'm not a fan of his style, but he's a very good fighter and hasn't lost since 2019. So I highlighted a lot of things about Bilal's game that I still respect. I just think Jack can catch him. But we had a great fucking back and forth discussion here, and I love it. I love guys. I'm a passionate fan of MMA and just combat sports in general. So the fact that you guys are commenting here, I want you to know it means so much to me, and I'm going to continue commenting back to you guys. And when this channel finally blows up, it will. I'm going to grind until it does. So it's going to blow up. I'm going to make sure, the day that I make good money here, if I ever do, I don't even want to say if, when I make good money on YouTube, I'm going to hook you guys up. So thank you. I hope y'all continue to watch, engage. I really appreciate it, and I love making content that people want to react to. Anyways, going back to my quick hits. Look at this. We're 13 minutes in. My quick hits, Juliana Miller, huge upset. Very happy about that win. Then we had D-Rod get a finish against Ponzinibbio when a lot of people were picking Ponzinibbio in that fight. Siri City masterclass performance against Cameron Smotherman. That was another one that I feel like I was kind of on a different playing field in terms of my pick compared to what others were choosing. And not playing field, but more so just my pick was kind of the odd man out, if you will, when we're looking at the group and seeing how everyone else is predicting. I want to make sure I don't miss anything, guys, because there's 12 fights. So yeah, Siri City, fantastic performance against Cameron Smotherman. Montel Jackson, I think a lot of us picked him to win, went out there and did his thing. He was winning, a close fight in the first couple rounds, but that third round, he hurt Marcos badly. And this is a guy who's 17-0. So Montel Jackson's 6-fight win streak, he's climbing the fucking ranks here. He has had great performances. Like the short right hook, guys, that he was able to fucking land tonight was beautiful. Like if you go watch that short right hook that he lands, like landed it 2 times, just, threw it back. Wow. Right on the fucking dome piece. So D-Rod though, that KO over Santiago, dude, D-Rod had some thuddy buddy. He was fucking thudding out there. Dude, in the first round, he was hitting Ponzinibbio and it sounded like he was hitting a fucking, if you took like a fucking potato, if you had a giant fucking potato and it was just fucking hanging from like a ceiling rafter. And I'm talking heavy enough to be like a cow, like a potato the size of a cow, and you were just whomping on that. That's the thudding that was fucking doing. And then he was just landing crispy combinations. But dude, I gotta say, knowing that D-Rod's from the mean streets of LA, guys, when he had Ponzinibbio hurt and went into finishing mode, tell me y'all saw this. He was throwing the hood came out in him. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean like the bad intentions. Like the streets of LA came out. He was winging hooks. Like the only thing I see that's bad about that is it left him open. But dude, these hooks were like from hell. He was trying to put this man out cold. And unfortunately, guys, there's a very funny moment in this fight. Right after he gets knocked out, Ponzinibbio stands up and like runs and like hits the cage. But y'all, this is the funniest shit I saw. As he did this and D-Rod's hitting the... Look in the fucking background here, and you're gonna fucking see Ponzinibbio fucking zombie running towards the fucking... Dude, he looks like one of those hyped up zombies in Call of Duty when they're running at the window. Like, they fucking hit that final sprint. And, dude, the referee's just, like, standing behind, like, oh, fuck, he's gonna hurt himself. It fucking hits his head on the cage. Dude, crazy last moment. But then to just like steal the show from that huge KO, D-Rod is he's one of the best boxers in the UFC. He has great stand-up. His boxing is crispy, but he hasn't finished a lot of guys with his hands. He gets a lot of decisions, and those decisions are very fun to watch. Like I do sometimes hate decision merchants. I don't hate the game of D-Rod. D-Rod makes a decision look fun because he's got a crispy boxing style. His jab was on point. It always is, but the way he's able to just fling that out there and land heavy with it, it's a great fucking jab. And just the multi combos, right? That's what he ends up knocking out Ponzinibbio with. I fucking love to see that shit. It's so fun. But getting the finish is the difference here, is what I was getting at. He gets a lot of decisions, and he went out there tonight and just fucking masterclass performance from him. But then De Ridder comes in and fucking blows Bo Nickal out of the fucking water. Guys, I picked De Ridder for a fucking reason. You guys have to see it now. I saw the Gerald Meerschaert fight, guys. I get it. What I want everyone to understand here, guys, is that we all want to hate on Gerald Meerschaert because he got one punch KO'd by Khamzat. Like, people want to hate on Gerald Meerschaert. But if you watch the UFC, guys, Gerald Meerschaert is a fucking dark horse gatekeeper that fucks people up. He has fucked up several prospects and completely changed the trajectory of them moving up in the division, because he's just he's literally a crafty vet. But not only that, Meerschaert is like, he's as fucking Midwestern as you get. Like this scrappy motherfucker where it's like, God damn it. Like he is, if you're a top prospect, it's like in your head, you're a top prospect. I should be able to fuck this guy up. Like this guy should have nothing for me. But then Meerschaert's fucking throwing some weird ass southpaw striking at you that it's like from these weird ass angles, and he's tagging you at points, and you're like, what the fuck is happening here? Then you try to trade with him, and he's mixing up. He's getting you in the clinch. He's taking you to the ground. Dude, look at Edmund Shabazian. Masterclass performance in the start of the fight. Gerald Meerschaert weathers the storm, and he ends up submitting this fucking guy. Edmund Shabazian's really fucking good. He's been in the UFC since he was like fucking, I don't even know, like 20 years old, like very young in the UFC and grown up in the UFC. So at this point, he's a vet and looking great still, but he's a vet, but a prospect because of his age. Gerald Meerschaert has that craftiness to him. So when we think about that De Ridder losing, or not losing, well, he was losing the fight, guys. Like Meerschaert was outclassing him in there, but De Ridder staying with it and playing Meerschaert's game with him and beating him at that game, we actually should give it more credit than we bash on it. I think we bashed on it too much, guys, because after seeing what he did to Kevin Holland, I'm now in a position where, like, that's where I had to pick him in this fight. I was like, look, Kevin Holland's been, manhandled, right? He's been taken down and held to the ground by other guys. But the way that he finished Kevin Holland, like he big brothered him. And that doesn't happen to Kevin Holland a lot. And Kevin Holland is a bigger guy. It's 6'3". He's thin, but 6'3". He's like a taller middleweight. And De Ridder, dispatched him easy money. And so I actually respect Kevin Holland's game. I'm not one of these people out here hating on Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland's a great fucking fighter. De Ridder had to be my choice. Bo Nickal just hasn't shown me. He knocked out Val Woodburn, but Val Woodburn came in on like fucking 48 hours notice, guys. Val Woodburn is actually solid too. He's got some heavy hands, but like he had a tough go at it in his UFC matchups, I think. But hey, that's the game. Anyways, talking back on Bo Nickal here. Bo Nickal just hasn't shown me anything. Like the Jamie Pickett was a little bit like, yeah, you finished him, but like, didn't you fucking hit him in the nuts? And like, he did some weird shit. And then I saw him fight Cody Brundage at UFC 300. And honestly, dude, I saw it in person. It wasn't that impressive to me. Like, Cody Brundage is a good fighter. He's had a lot of bad losses, but he's knocked off a couple prospects in his time too. He was the first one to really like make me question Tresean Gore for a second, like his game, because of how he was able to finish him pretty quickly. So he's not a bum. I'm not going to call him Cody Bumditch. I don't think he's a bum. I think he's had some of these matchups are tough, guys, but where I'm headed with this, he didn't do much to Cody where I was like, okay, like, yeah, that's a solid performance. You know what I mean? Because Marco Tulio just did that. That was like, I think what I'm expecting in terms of like me rating you any higher. The Paul Craig fight was a snooze fest. It was horrible. It was an awful fucking fight. So Bo Nickal just hasn't shown me like those types of performances, whereas De Ridder has. And I'm like, De Ridder's a champ in the other organization. Bo Nickal's still very green, 7-1, guys, 7-1 now. He's officially lost his first fight in his professional MMA career. Bo Nickal's going to be back. Bo Nickal looked stronger in the feet at first, guys. Like, here's my notes on that fight. Here's my notes. And then, look, I'm going to go into all the fights, but I want to give you guys, my initial thoughts, okay? So hitting it off, Nickal versus Ridder, my notes that I had overall, Nickal looked more powerful with his strikes early on. De Ridder making it scrappy off the rip, and also the way he's making it scrappy is the way he's timing these takedown attempts. He's timing them perfectly when Bo is throwing a big hook shot. And you guys, if you watch the fight, you'll see Bo kind of fucking winging hooks, literally hooks from like kind of like the hip angle, and giving De Ridder a chance to cinch up that leg. And he's timing it very, very well with that punch from Bo Nickal. They get into the clinch. They get into some clinch exchanges, and DeRitter is dominating in those clinch exchanges, but also it's not necessarily the exchanges, because if you look at the stats, I believe Bo had more clinch control time in round 1. It's the clinch striking. DeRitter is fucking cooking that knee right up the middle, hitting that liver area and hitting like the solar plexus area on Bo, like the whole fight. But then also sneaking it up to the head. He's got a weird hip dexterity. He's like over here, but his hip is able to throw the fucking knee up that way. Looking great. By round 2 end, and I actually put a note, Gerald Mearshardt's a dog. Give him better credit, because he has taken out some of these top prospects or made them look beatable. And you got to give the guy credit, man. Anyways, round 2 ends with a popped cauliflower ear on the left or right side, probably the right of Bo, his right ear, bloodied up. Looking tired too, looking gassed. DeRitter went out there, guys, and he made it a fucking dogfight. My final note, round 2 starts. The pressure is instant from DeRitter. DeRitter is right again into that clinch, throwing strikes in the clinch. They break from the clinch. He lands a solid like 3-piece combo, clips Bo, and he comes in with like a fucking swinging battering ram of a, is it his lead knee? No, it's a rear knee, but I think I might have to watch this again. I think he switched. He did a switch knee because he's normally he wasn't southpaw, right hand. He threw a rear knee, body knee, but like a fucking battering ram right into the liver. Like the target placement on that knee, picture fucking perfect. Lands that knee like a battering ram to the liver. Bo drops to one knee. He gets smoked in Iowa. Dude, Bo, another reason I had to pick against you, bro. No, nothing personal. You're a great fighter, but I had to pick against you because you said, I'm undefeated in Iowa. I'm undefeated in Iowa. Like, I haven't lost in Iowa in like 10 in my whole career. Like, Penn State. And dude, that type of talk. I'm from the Midwest, man. There is a Midwest. You know how Alex Pereira has a dark trauma, a very dark trauma. The Midwest, we've got like a fairy godmother. And she straightens the score. And you were talking too much mess on Iowa. And I think that the fairy godmother gave it to the Holland boy. I think he's from Holland or Netherlands or some shit. Anyways, it was a picture-perfect performance. DeRitter looked fucking fantastic. He slayed the Bo Nickal Dragon. Huge underdog, guys. I think he was like a plus 700 or more. I'm going to tell you what. I actually made a joke to my sister. We saw UFC 300 in person. And she was asking me to help her make parlays. I said I would pick Cody Brundage because I want to see the world burn like the Joker. Because he was like a plus 1,200 or some shit. Like some crazy fucking odds on that. Finally, guys, a huge finish in the main event. Sandhagen versus Figgy. I don't know why I went Aussie there, guys. I just fucking like spammed. Or not spammed, I glitched just now. Anyways, watching this fight, I took some notes. So my first note that I took, guys, Cory Sandhagen comes out to Ludacris. I think it's a Ludacris song. Sounds like Ludacris. And this dude is like fucking fired up. Like it's a side of Cory. We've seen it before, but this time like he's on edge, bro. It's a different human coming out. If you watch his interviews and you see this Cory, completely fucking different person. He like screamed, fucking hitting Alex Pereira. And then he fucking, dude, he's walking in like speed walking. After he yells like Pereira, he fucking glares. Like, dude, like an absolute psychopath, like heavy fucking breathing. And he's staring into the octagon. Like literally like that's his prey. I'm not kidding, guys. Like I noticed this shit. It was so fucking out there for me. Like, I haven't seen Cory be this, like, primal, I guess I would say. And when he got in the octagon, I know he does this a lot, but he got in the octagon, guys, and he was fucking pacing back and forth, looking into his fucking eyes with, like, dude, I think Figgy, like, they cut the camera to Figgy, and Figgy was like, what the fuck am I doing in here? Like, he had a weird look in his face, okay? Going into round one, Cory is landing a thuddy buddy uppercut, like right up the middle, okay? And guys, here's a few notes I picked up on this that I'm watching this fight. Cory is picking up these beautiful tendencies that we've seen from the likes of Trevor Whitman and Justin Gaethje. Trevor Whitman being the head trainer of Justin Gaethje, coach, I mean. Heavy on a rear uppercut, also landing an inside low kick right here. Inside low kick. That's a dangerous kick because it allow like that kick you could really injure yourself from the shit that I've researched and like seen. Like because it allows the opponent, like their shin bone is right there for checking. Like it can really fuck you up if you're throwing that kick. Cory's landing it heavy though, and he's landing a very heavy uppercut. But then Figgy responds with like one of the most violent takedowns I've seen. He whips Cory to the ground. So like Figgy is still looking dangerous, guys. He's looking dangerous immediately on the ground too. Cory scrambles and Figgy's able to throw up like several different heel hooks, different looks on the leg locks and things of that nature that I think is keeping Cory at bay at first. But Cory, like I said, this dude's like a fucking shark in bloody waters, and he is ready to fucking take on Figgy. Whatever he's got wants to fucking hurt him. So somehow Cory's dexterity is able to like flow past these areas where it's like point of no return, you would think, but he gets past it and he's just fucking landing heavy ground and pound shots to Figgy, even mixing in like sharp elbows. And one of the notes I had on his elbows was that Cory is like, he's a fucking demon with these elbows, guys. I'm going to actually get to that point in round two. So heavy hands and elbows at the end of round one on Figgy. He literally had a moment where he could finish the fight, in my opinion. He has him hurt on the face, and Figgy's able to kind of scramble out and get into a different position. But Cory's flowing around him like a fucking fountain. And he's going a lot for these headshots. Cory stops, looks up at the clock, trying to see how much time he's got. And he had 15, it was like 15 and a half seconds, maybe 14 seconds. Regardless, guys, he's got a solid amount of time. Cory is perfectly framed up. He could be landing those sharp elbows, right into the kidney area of Deiveson Figueiredo. My opinion, Cory, because you're a smart guy, you throw those elbows into the back of his rib cage, in the back, right? You fucking hurt that rib cage and just pierce that fucking shit. Try to hit the kidney. Try to hit sharp. You take your fucking pointy ass elbow like I have. I have a similar build to you, bro. I'm like long, lanky, fucking bony elbow. Try to fucking go through that opening in the cage, just fucking stabbing him. He could have done that, like heavy elbows like that, at least 15 times. Like Gene Silva did this when he knocked out Bagdasarian. He was hurting him to the head, but then he hit that kidney area. It just fucking went to town. And I Cory, like you had that. Regardless, you found a way through it, bro. Like I think you were going for the head because you're wanting to really knock this dude unconscious. But I think, look at Bo Nickal. He went down. That liver shot, it hurts. It hurts. Round two starts. Figgy and Cory, starting off, both of them landing heavy low kicks, like leg kicks on their lead legs. But it seems that Cory is just landing much better, harder, more often, right? He's just kind of hitting all three of those there. And he's moving well. He's thudding into the leg of Figgy, and you can see it impacting Figgy's ability to kind of continue moving on that leg. He starts switching stances and like is very hesitant on the feet. Cory is setting up that uppercut, that rear uppercut that's just like Justin Gaethje, just that dirty rear uppercut. He's setting it up beautifully. He's throwing one jab. He's throwing jab. Then he's kind of giving it a second, then throwing that bitch up. And it throws that shit up. And each time he threw it up, it was kind of like glancing on Deiveson. It wasn't connecting every time. But I think if he continues to time that, bro, he's going to fucking knock someone out with that shit. I think Cory Sandhagen continuing to train with Trevor Whitman and Justin is going to be a problem for a lot of people. I am scared if he fights Sean O'Malley. I'm scared because, dude, Cory tonight looked like a fucking demon. So my final point here, Cory is a demon with these elbows. He knows his anatomy so well. So this is the reason I made the point, Cory, about the elbows. You know your anatomy, bro. And the reason I know that is because the way you were throwing your ground and pound elbows, most guys will just kind of try to throw everything into the elbow, right? And land like as heavy as they can. Not really like shot placement while they're doing the ground and pound elbows. It's kind of just to try to just hit their face. Cory was like throwing the elbow, but angling it down, right? And he was doing a very interesting slicing motion. He was slicing Figgy with like that exact part of that elbow and just like literally perfectly placing the sharpest part of his elbow. And this is why, guys, when you break things down like this, you know who's in there to kill. Cory Sandhagen wanted to slice his face up with that elbow. Like the look in his face, in his eyes, that's the shit. This is what makes me like respect these fighters so much, because there are only so many fighters who have a killer instinct. And Cory, I think, is one of these UFC fighters. And I don't know. I've never talked to Cory. I've seen him interview about this, though. Cory might actually agree with this statement. He didn't always have the killer instinct, but he trained himself into it. He did a lot of different mental techniques to get him to that place. And dude, he is a fucking monster when he is in this headspace. And he actually made a comment this week that he loves to be in the cage because it's the only place where he can like legally just be violent. Like he's like, he can't even be violent in training, but I can get into that cage and I can be violent as I want. That is a scary fucking guy. I am excited to see what he does next. I think it's him versus O'Malley. If not O'Malley, he's getting a title shot, guys. If O'Malley wins against Merab, I think that Cory has to happen. I know that there's a rematch in the line then for Merab, but Sandhagen has earned a title shot, guys. It has to happen. So I suppose if O'Malley loses to Merab, it actually is perfect for Cory because Cory is next in line. He has to be. What a wonderful... And this is MMA math, guys. Petr Yan beats Cory Sandhagen pretty definitively. Okay? Petr Yan unanimously beats Figgy, in a good matchup, but he definitely easily wins that fight. Cory makes it look even easier. So this is like a huge position of like styles make fights. You know what I mean. So I wanted to start this one off that way, guys. I wanted to give you guys the exciting shit. I'm 37 minutes in. I wanted to give you guys my thoughts on these big moments in this fight, okay? So that's what you get from me, immediately. Now I just want to go through the full card now, guys. So breaking down the Juliana Miller fight, she really made it scrappy. She did her fucking thing. She went out there and, she used her awkward style, did a great job, was able to get this win. I think it was absolutely deserved. She won that fight. She was just better than Ivana Petrovic in every area, really. I think Petrovic was crispier with the striking, but the way Juliana Miller was kind of mixing in her strikes with the takedowns, it didn't give Petrovic any chance. I'm happy I picked her. Next fight, heavyweight, dude. Dontel Mays got smoked like a blunt. Thomas Peterson, like literally, it was a domination of a fight. Dontel looked bad, man. I think it's time he might retire. He's an older guy. He just looked bad, and I'm pissed I picked him, bro. The reason I picked him, and if you watch my picks video, the reason I went with Dontel Mays was simply because Thomas Peterson got KO'd pretty badly 2 months ago. So 2 months, to me, is not enough time to, like, recover the brain. And I'm like, Dontel Mays is a big enough guy. He might land a knockout. It didn't happen. Thomas Peterson outclassed him and smoked him. Next fight on the card, we have Gaston Bolanos versus Quang Lee. Quang Lee, decent underdog, plus 120, I guess not really, but anyways. He went out there and he, wow. Like, it got scrappy. Round 1 was domination from Lee. Round 2, it got scrappy for a moment. Gaston was landing a little bit on the feet, and then suddenly Quang Lee is, like, actually getting the better of those exchanges on the feet. Kind of, I think stumbles Gaston at one point, and then Gaston throws like a spinning back fist. He lands his own stuff. Quang Lee then takes it to the ground again and submits Gaston Bolanos. I got that one wrong. Next fight on the card, though, Gillian Robertson coming in for redemption for me on my picks, getting a KO in round number 2. She was literally, off the bat, You know what, guys? I know when they throw the punches at the fucking camera, like when they're like this, just fucking like, and like, dude, the punches just never look scary fast or like it's just like awkward. Like it was probably awkward how I was just like, you can't even hear them usually because they play some shitty ass music that's like some I like some unknown artist over it. Anyways, Gillian actually looked fast. Okay, she was throwing punches at the fucking camera. I'm like, damn, it's decent. Like she's actually pretty quick. So I'm like, maybe she'll do okay. Goes out there. Marina Rodriguez had the best chance on the feet to land and hurt Gillian Robertson, get her out of there. Marina does not do that. Gillian is able to get a takedown. And once she got a takedown, guys, even any of the submissions that Marina threw up, I was not worried because Gillian is so elite on the ground that she would just flow past these positions, get control, and throw up her own submission attempts, and then also try to get into a place where she can land some ground and pound. Gillian goes out there and she literally does that round 2, gets a fucking perfect takedown. Marina has a I think it was a guillotine at first. Gillian just flows right out of that, takes control, gets into a very dominating position. I think it was mount, and just starts landing heavy shots. Marina with no answer, and she just looked like her body language said she's done. And Gillian lands the kill shots to win the fight. Great win for Gillian Robertson. She's going to move up to the top 10 now. Next fight on the card, Ryan Loder versus Azamat Bekoyev. Guys, this was a fucking barn burner. Azamat Bekoyev got the fucking W, okay? But it was not an easy, it was kind of an easy W because he hurt Ryan Loder quickly. Loder has a fucking granite chin. Did anyone know this? Because I'm like, bro, Loder, I'm giving him so much props. He should get a bonus because the shots that Bekoyev was landing initially, before he did his true onslaught of just combos to the dome, Loder got clipped with heavy, heavy shots, guys. And he stood there and ate that shit like a cheeseburger. And mind you, guys, UFC Iowa, UFC Des Moines. Dude, Des Moines is the most American city. They win the most American city. Do you know why? These motherfuckers were actually cheering on their own. I know that Ryan Loder has an attachment to Iowa, but they were cheering this fucker on because he's from the United States. They were fucking screaming USA. Every fan. Not to mention, guys, I told you Iowa, there's not much to do, right? Everyone was there. First prelim, they're all screaming. You can hear them all. They're all there. I fucking love Iowa. I'm from Illinois. I'm right there, guys. I love the Midwest, and that this just reinvigorates my love for Midwest and the Midwest people. You guys fucking redeemed yourselves. You not redeemed yourselves. You redeemed the UFC fan base because there's been a couple fucking places that the fans have absolutely sucked ass. You guys get a win. Anyways, Bekoyev is landing heavy shots. Loder landing some of his own. Okay, landing some of his own, and like Bekoyev, you see like he's getting real sweaty, right? He looks like he's like actually getting gassed. Like I'm like, bro, you're hitting a fucking moving punching bag right now. Then Loder lands a heavy body uppercut, and I think Bekoyev is like, oh no, dude, no, not landing that anymore. And he just goes into the kill switch, fucking hits him, clips him, drops him to the ground. Yeah, huge win. Ryan Loder, though, I get so much respect that he stood there and he tried, dude. He tried to stand and bang and, like, was getting off some good shots of his own. Bekoyev is just too crispy on the feet, guys. I picked Bekoyev in that one. Next fight on the card, Yana Santos versus Miesha Tate. Miesha Tate did look great, okay? Initially in this fight, round 1, Miesha Tate was starting the fight off fast and looked amazing. Yana Santos, though, kept her composure, was landing the heavier shots, landing the more skillful shots, and I think just that damage continued to pile up for Miesha. Miesha is also a little bit older. They're both up there in age for the division. 35 and 38, or 37, 36 and 38, I believe. Anyways, Miesha Tate, I think the damage plus, probably the age is not going to help in this case. But Miesha was in that fight, guys. This is Miesha Tate's, her bread and butter is like being in the fight at all times. She doesn't give up. And like she was in that fight in round 3, really had a great success on the ground and really won that round. But the first 2 rounds, from a damage perspective, they go Yana's way. Miesha Tate looked great, though, in my opinion. For being 38, she was giving Yana Santos a pretty fucking tough fight. So good for her. Yana gets a great win. We'll see what happens next for these two. But it was a fun fight, actually. They were swanging and banging. Next fight on the card to open the main card, Little Heathen, Jeremy Stephens, and then Mason Jones. The Little Heathen was fucking, dude, it was the start of the fight. I was worried, like, he was getting pieced up. But, dude, Jeremy was eating everything Mason Jones threw at him. Mason Jones looked fantastic on the feet, guys. Very, very good on the feet. I was very happy to see, like, both these guys left the UFC, came back. They put on a great showing for this fucking fight. And Jeremy doing what I thought he might, landing that right hand in critical moments and potentially changing, well, not potentially, but he was actually changing the trajectory of Mason's, like, upward energy, if you will. Like, Mason would get upward energy when he's getting and landing on these crazy shots. He's getting Jeremy backing up against the cage. But then Jeremy's landing that fucking right hand, sometimes landing a hook, but missing the hook quite a bit. I think if Jeremy landed that hook more, it would be a different type of fight. But regardless, he's making Mason take back steps at points, landing the heavier shots. Both guys mixing to the body very well, but Mason doing a very good job at that. Mason really, guys, great fighter. He made me a fan after this. Like, I had seen his fights before, but he ended up leaving the UFC. I'm a fan now. And Jeremy Stephens had a great showing, guys. Jeremy Stephens is 9 years older than him. Okay, so like that's a huge deal when you think about it at lightweight. And Jeremy still, Mason Jones left that fucking octagon with a bloody face. Jeremy's out there fucking doing his fucking job, guys. Great fight, should win a bonus. Next fight on the card, Cameron Smotherman, Series City. Great fight as well. This was a very competitive matchup, but Series City just ultimately, guys, I picked him to win this fight. He just did his thing. He mixes things up so well on the feet. He mixes in the takedowns. I just think he outclassed Cameron in a lot of these areas. But Cameron Smotherman showed very good striking prowess, very, very quick on the feet, was also able to scramble on the ground a bit. But Series City just overpowered him and I feel like he looked like the more experienced fighter, in my opinion. Series City just was getting into positions that I don't think Cameron Smotherman was prepared for. And like the way Series City is able to kind of mix up from, winning a striking exchange to getting it to the ground, I don't think Smotherman had anything for him. Still landed some good shots on the feet, though. Next fight on the card, Montel Jackson versus Daniel Marcos. Pretty close fight in round 1 and 2. Montel Jackson, in my opinion, got round 1. Round 2 might have went to Daniel Marcos, so kind of a back and forth. Montel Jackson looking quick on the feet, mixing up the ground game and his striking game very well. That's a big theme on this card. A lot of matchups where guys are mixing it up a lot and very nicely and seamlessly. Anyways, round 3 comes on and Montel Jackson starts to kind of really throw it on him. He hits Daniel Marcos with a couple of those sharp right hooks, dude. And it is, he tags Marcos. Marcos has a fucking shiner. And then ultimately, I believe he's able to kind of pull it to the ground and control things from there. He ends up getting the W and it was pretty clear. Good fight from both guys. Took the O of Daniel Marcos, which 17-0 fighter. Next fight on the card, Santiago Ponzinibbio versus D-Rod, Daniel Rodriguez. This was a fucking fantastic fight, guys. Like, this fight is one of those fights that, I don't know, if Ponzinibbio landed more shots on D-Rod and like hurt him more, but D-Rod like recovered and still like the result was the same as it is now, this might be like a Hall of Fame type fight. Cause like, I think that it was a fun fight, but D-Rod was just clearly winning in the striking exchanges. And I picked D-Rod. I had a lot of picks tonight. And I think all the creators did pretty bad. But some of my picks, I'm just happy when I get some of these picks that are like out of left field, sort of, when you look at odds. It wasn't a huge underdog, but I think a lot of people, I don't even look at the odds. I look at it from a perspective of who online that's a big fan of the sport. Who are they picking? And they were picking Santiago Ponzinibbio. I just thought D-Rod's boxing was going to be better because Santiago is just more of a power puncher, counter puncher. He just looks to land that big shot, which is a skill in and of itself, and he's very good at it. But sometimes that crispy technical boxing is going to beat a guy like that. And that's what I thought would happen. Plus, D-Rod's been training with Ian Gary, so I think that he's getting good looks on the feet, guys. He's working with one of the better strikers in the UFC, probably one of the best strikers in the UFC. So that you're not going to just work with a guy like that and not glean, benefits, if you will. And Daniel Rodriguez has appeared to do that. This dude is literally tagging Santiago in round 1, hurting him, making him do the fucking, like, he's staring at the ground, running backwards, not running backwards, but back pacing. And just, he looked crispy on the feet. Round 2, back and forth, but Daniel Rodriguez gets that one, in my opinion. Round 3, dude, he finally lands that combo that shuts the lights off, and what a KO. Shocking, what a KO. You guys already heard what I had to say about the last 2 fights. I wanted to go through everything and just give everything my little bit of insight. I did break down De Ridder, and I already broke down Sandhagen. So ultimately, guys, this was a crazy fucking fight night. I'm very happy. Even though we had some decisions, all the fights, I think, were very fun, except for Dontel May's Thomas Peterson. That was a horrible fight. Like, dude, Juliana Miller's fight was more engaging, in my opinion. Like, Peterson and Mays was just fucking dog shit for being heavyweight. Y'all got to step that shit up, man. But nonetheless, a great card for Iowa. And, dude, fucking Iowa City fans get all the praise in the world. That's how you show out for your fellow countrymen. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoy this recap. It's a little bit longer. I might be cutting a lot of shit anyways, but make sure you like the video and make sure you subscribe to Fight Feed. I am so happy to have anybody engaging here, and I look forward to making my next video, and I look forward to seeing what you guys have to say. Thanks.